whether you're ready for it or not. Here's a run of bottle stoppers. It's going to take lots of coffee. There's all the blanks. I want to do about 20 of them. And there's the steel parts of the bottle stoppers. They're stainless steel with a rubber gasket. And, you know, that's one done. That's what they'll look like when they're done. First thing we're going to do is find the center of each one of the pieces. That's just a center finder I found on Amazon. Just type in center finder, you'll find a dozen of them. And then a center punch, another one, Amazon, type in center punch. And the joy of marking 20 blanks. It's so much fun. Alright, over to the drill press. We drill them all out now. Blue tape marks the depth. For the smaller blanks, I use one of my quick grip clamps to hold on to it. That way if the piece catches and there's something in the drill press, it doesn't damage my hand. Even though my drill press is rather low power, it can still do some damage. You know the drill. Run her down till the flag hits and clears all the chips off. That's your depth. Alright, and we're going to go through and do all 20 of them. Like I say, I use the quick grip for the smaller blanks. The bigger ones, I can get a good grip on with my hand. I'm not worried about it. And I burn through them all. Alright, next in the barrel of fun is tapping all of the holes. Two ways to do it. One is use a tap by hand. You got to make sure you keep the tap square. Make sure you keep steady downward pressure on it. And you got to go a little bit slow. I did this for a few of them just to show it. After doing like 4 or 5, my hand actually started cramping up from trying to do it the right way. I'll show you a little bit of a time lapse of me doing a few of them with the hand tap, and then we're gonna go and do it a different way. Like I say, I got bored with this real fast doing it this way. And you can also see I'm using an air compressor to blow the junk out of the holes and to clean the tap. Yeah, I sat down because this was so thrilling. Alright, method number 2. Screw the tap. Chuck it up in the drill. I put it on the slowest speed. I can apply steady, even downward pressure. There's no twisting or anything. I actually get better threads when I use the drill. And as you can see by the high speed, I burn through them a heck of a lot faster. I'm using burn through a lot, aren't I? Huh. Anyway, yeah, the drill is just so much quicker and works better for me. If I only have a couple to do, I'll do it by hand. No sense getting the drill out. But for a bunch, production-wise, yeah, use the drill. Alright, onto the lathe. I have a mandrel for my small lathe that threads onto the threads of the headstock, and then the blank just threads onto the mandrel. I do use tailstock support in the beginning of the turn for the roughing out, just because, you know, them threads aren't very strong. And I just go through and use my roughing gouge to rough everything out, and then I like using carbide for the actual churning. Yes, I could use high-speed steel tools. I have them. But the carbide, especially in a production setting, it's just quicker. There's less sharpening. You don't have to worry about wearing your tools out or anything like that. If you're using high-speed steel, you're going to be sharpening fairly often. And in a run of 20 of them, I didn't want to spend any time doing that. Because like I say, it gets a little bit monotonous. I go through and sand everything up from 150 grit up to 1,000 grit. And then you're going to see I have a little trick here I do after I hit 1,000 grit. I actually grab a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and clean them up with that. It gives a little bit of a buff to them. It's still got some grit to it just to get anything real fine off, but I don't know, I think the finish applies, the friction polish applies a little bit easier when I use that. And of course I use a little rag to clean off any dust that's on it. For the finish, I'm going to use Shellawax friction polish. Actually, I think it's from Australia is where this stuff comes from. You can use any friction polish you want. Obi Shine Juice, whatever. They all work, you know, pretty much the same. But the shine is unbeatable and the speed is unbeatable with friction polish. That's why I like using it for these. They're not going to get handled that much. They're not going to get, you know, thrown in the washer or anything like that. So it's just a good, fairly durable finish. Works well for these. But that's the churning of a bottle stopper. I'll show you one here, different angle of me going through and turning the thing. You can see I had my little box fan with my furnace filter on it. That's my DIY cheap air cleaner for in the shop. I keep it running next to the lathe anytime I'm turning. Doesn't matter if it's a big project or small project. Alright, here we go with the epoxy to epoxy them in. You can see there at the beginning I was squeezing the air out of the top of the tube so I could get an equal amount of epoxy on my little blue tape mixing pad there. Also, I store my epoxy tube standing upright once I break the seal on it. That lets all the air come to the top of the tube, and then you just squeeze it out a little bit, and then you get a real even amount. I'm only putting the epoxy on threads that go into the wood. I'm not putting it on the threads that go into the steel. I'll explain that once I get done with this stuff. But yeah, just go through an epoxy mall. Again, 20. And a time lapse of me doing the rest of them. I picked up all those new cabinets there. My brother gave them to me for free. He was redoing his kitchen and gave me all the cabinets. So I went and completely redone my finishing room, which I'm in here, and my bowl drying room, which I posted a video earlier of me doing a countertop on one of those. On top of this counter, I just had some old plywood, and then I had some old vinyl flooring that I threw down on the top. That way, stuff scrapes off of it. Alright, my run of bottle stoppers is done. I like them. I'm happy with them. They get a bit monotonous to do. It's hard to stay creative. This one is my favorite one. I don't know why, but just something about it. The shape, the way I was able to blend the shape into the cone, and that flat top on it. So shiny. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of wood these are. I know like that barrel is cherry. That little one is oak. That's cherry. The rest of these, I have no idea what they are. This one's kind of cool too, with the line in it and stuff. Anyway, they're glued on with 5-minute epoxy. It's not permanent. The bottle stoppers, the little threaded piece is both threaded into the stainless steel of the stopper and into the wood. I epoxied it into the wood, but it is not epoxied into the stainless steel stopper. So they can be unscrewed for cleaning if need be. I tried to keep it that way. But anyway, that's my run of bottle stoppers for the week, for the for the month. Like I said, I have a hard time with them. If you like my video, please like, subscribe, share, all that happy stuff. I'm still trying to get to 1,000. I think I was at 460, 461, somewhere in there. Last time I checked at the time of this filming. But anyway, that's bottle stoppers. I promise I won't do any more on video for the rest of the year.